Here at Bereshit A in this YouTube channel, I'm explaining what we can do with the fossil record of all Earth history as I prepare to put the end of the Bible forever with, and I'm sorry, NASA, we didn't notice this. It is actually the monarchical pattern of the entire world. From Genesis 1:9, having been expelled into Pangea from the Garden of Eden that I'm outlining, and having been expelled at 4000 BC, perfectly on the mark, 4001 BC happened, 4002 BC happened, and 6,000 years ago happened, and 7,000 years ago there was only one person on this planet that happened. He was albino and flying around. It happened, and his only attribute he had was from having sat there at this footstool of God, who's an albino, whose name is Jehovah, who doesn't want you to have your book in print any longer, happened, and he wants me to take it out of print to help cult close. Little baby cult, you owe me about 28 million for helping you accept reality that the earth grew up around you. And so I'm going to conduct a jihad, and I'm going to collapse the church in Rome, and I'm going to go. So have fun storming the castle. Let's read a word. Thus, 1,300 years elapsed since the revelation on Mount Sinai. So 1,300, have fun reading a word. God and Moses spoke face to face. You had fun reading word. To tell the truth, you had fun reading word. Science has declared that the human being is nothing more than consciousness. But what about the body? Oh, that, says the scientist. Does it sound good for our 6,000 years? We can't figure it out. Duh. What is the place within the human being is to act on it. Interference of your having this in your school and having a brain cell from having not written your Bible from beginning when you were 10 years old, learning how to write from it when you were 5, never even teaching it once until you were done from in the beginning as once upon a time I was born and I shouldn't have been, and now that I'm 32, I'm thinking about having a baby, and I'm fully done handwriting the entire thing. I'm not going to do it because it told me what. This need for light in our lives and in the world is now so great that every newspaper and current affairs show it seems to merge into a single defining scream, calling for the gates of heaven to open. So I'll keep reading. For mercy to fall like rain. So 6,000 year earthers, you're not even up there. No one whose love has followed me. My dog's in Hitler's lap, though, and my mancoon's getting up in heaven, having he's purring right now because God's for real, and his name was 1891's Jehovah turned the Bible off at because of. So Rabbi Shimon and Eliezer, my son, stop talking. Unless it's a supernal hidden secret which humans know nothing about, so you can't make sense that you can't accept reality for the 9,200-year-old fossil. It's Earth for real fossil. Neanderthal did have the high eye. Go whining and go stop sucking on your own stupid balls. You know, stupid go at a cocks. Idiots revealed by Rabbi. So you're no more retard now. You don't have a word. Hey, you even got that one wrong. Wow, it's Rabbi Shimon's firing everyone, which is the Israel Shabbat. And thanks, Rabbi Shimon. But you didn't tell your kids they're stupid. They got Ashras. Master of the universe. You didn't even tell your kids how to read a word. With the beginning of the manifestation of the king's will, that is when the king desired to emanate and create the world. So we haven't done that yet, and we're going to get it. You got a week to get off the internet. A hard spark made an engraving upon the supernal light. I'm going to shut off the internet in a week. This hard work spark in order that your kids clean up their education systems. I'll show them how. Which emanated from the getting ready will be pretty easy. The most concealed of all concealed things from you not having a brain cell from having been made up from the 136 million years. Big closed over secret, refusing to accept reality for the 500,000 year cone of something you can't think about, with the endlessness light with the 12 million year cone of it underneath it. To shapeless form, the spark was then inserted into the center of the earth Earth. That was 4.543 billion years ago that happened. White, not black, nor red, nor green. So what happened back then? The Earth swelled up. I explained to Cult already. It used to be 1 hour a day. It didn't know. Once upon a time, the Grand Canyon's old now. It took that long for the 1 hour a day Earth to swell. That's geology. You can see that by looking and measuring little diamond and big diamond. I knew that when I was a kid. 10. Looking at the pictures of what they're teaching you on PBS, reading the 1986 Making Sense Out of Life and preparing to fly out airplanes later. And I did that, you idiot, 6,000 years moron. They taught me in school that the Earth's not 6,000 years in age, and I grew up. You didn't. And now you have an empty church. Literally. You're a 73-year-old elder who thinks God magically poofed and that scientists made up the age of Mount Rainier. 73. 73-year-old elder told me no one's ever seen God. That verse doesn't mean that. Just like cult on the internet. And he told me they made up the age of Mount Rainier. That's a newspaper article. That's sorry, I'm cutting your balls off. They did not make up the age of Mount Rainier. And yes, you are a retard. And yes, Jesus is a fuck yeah. Yes. New Testament legend of himself. Take it out of print at New Testament. Boom, done. 6,000 years never happened. In the beginning, God, when he wanted that book in print, he left it in print too long, and the Jews fucked you over is a better way of beginning it. Once upon a time, you got a book from the Middle Ages with the unicorn in it. Oops. And then they didn't notice it, and didn't notice it, and kept wobbling around. I can't figure it out. 6,000, but 6,000. That's just it's all made up. From once upon a time in the beginning to Revelation chapter 10. Into the Mormon Church. Right there. Take the Revelation chapter 10. Take 6,000 years. Jimmy Swaggart did it again in 2005, 2010. Compare red letter to no red letter. And you're done. Which one do you take out of print? You take them both. From 1859, antique, mine. And 1891, Apocrypha Kajat, turn you off at. Got it. I'm over 6 million into this apocryphatic collection for the Dead Sea Scrolls. You retards, we're done. We're done. We're done with the Bible in print. Look at which words you got wrong on God and Moses. Look how it had an entirely secondary message telling you that Jesus was a false Messiah and transported the Dead Sea Scrolls out of the Second Temple. We're done with you. We're done with the Bible at that. Yeshua the Messiah ben Yosef, he was an albino. He had God and Moses spoke face to face as friends, and Jesus knew that. And he told him, they're not going to understand this one letter in the Bible. And then he sat there with the hijab and watched Titus actually worked with him. Yeshua the Messiah ben Yosef actually worked with Titus in order to destroy the Second Temple, so don't be too surprised. It'll be so easy to clap a cult on this next letter. I used to be one 6,000 year retard. We're getting rid of you in a week. On this day, the third day, it is written twice, write your retirement, you idiot. The fingernails are visible, cut them off. And as I prepare to castrate you, come and behold how many causes, namely graves, are concealed and not known. They are clothed with, we got to take out the Pope, which are the cherries. It'll be pretty easy. Just as a chariot manifests the existence, its drivers is a sapphire. Pretty easy, actually. The Pope's a retard. He accepted Darwinian evolution. Make visible graves that are all you did. It's fucking in all your books. With or without 6,000. With or without, you can't read it because it's got God in it. At Deuteronomy 30:14, you can't read it. God sprinkles some magic fairy dust. Hey, if you don't know I'm here, right here, you don't know how to read your red letter legend to Jesus thereafter. And you got left it. So read your red letter legend cult on the internet who refuses to accept reality. That's all you got. At John 4:14-15, John 14:23, turn you off at. And Saul changed his name to Paul. Read Galatians chapter 2 pretty fucking closely. and Saul having changed his name to Paul, and you not reading that book of Galatians pretty fucking popes opened the discussion by saying he rejoices in festivals, so you must have Chataran Sukkot, festival of Sukkot. In his wisdom, Moses looked in his face to face. He knew God was in the Bible. That's funny. This learned about the work of the creation. So God was an albino, and he can do whatever he wants. He masturbated and got you on accident. Moses said assuredly because of this power of disagreement of the left Gehenna hell. Hell, where you got a 6,000 year earthquake. We can't get off of this internet. Should cling to it. Oh, we can't get that. They're making it up. Yeah, NASA's making up the billions of years old new now. That's kind of funny. Can't figure out how to turn off NASA from the Bible. Just as it is written in the works of creation. NASA already knows that the Earth's not 6,000. You don't know how to read the book. Korah did this with 6,000 year legend, red letter legend thereafter. Wished to be attached to a red letter legend thereafter. Way to go. Red letter, namely to the structure of holiness, and you're not there. 6,000 year was. Great eliminary 6,000 year was. Got it all wrong after that. But the Mabraya. So that's where we're actually getting into something pretty spooky. Okay, the measurement of Braya now. It says Zarapin. I'll get there in a week. When we get you off the internet. Now the phrase shall the rings be refers to the upper rings. Okay, that meant which is called your sod. So I'm actually, I'm currently in God's. I'm currently so far out there, up inside God's scrotum. I've found like, oh, this is the. I have to give God a vasectomy and wake him up from being high on heroin and passed out right now. And wind also spirit from Elohim alludes to the spirit. They got a word wrong. So Revelation 1, it was alluded to. He let you have it anyway. Sorry about that. The holiness that proceeded from the living. So God, you're passed up on heroin. Get up, help get this cult off the internet and moved over the surface of the water. So 104 trillion times the amount of water at the edges of our far reaching edges of our 6,000 year internet. Universe that are billions of years old that we can't use yet. Go read this article called on the internet. I know billions is a hard one, but NASA made up the word anyway. You like that? Unicorn found the unicorn. Idiots. 1611, too hard for you, still in print. So, let me go load my pipe and go, oh, I'm sorry, we're going to have to take this out of print for the Jehovah Witnesses next. That's because of the 26 old new translations and the getting apocryphal that's small like this and that's like that. Gideon, but God and Moses spoke face to face. That's pretty small. That was like that. So imagine how that's going to turn out into that. At the name of God and Jehovah. And so God wanted you to see, oh, no one's ever seen God or how to read him in the book. 26 translations. Now I have to just wobble back and forth like this. God and Moses spoke face to face. Check that out. God and Moses spoke face to face. Now it's got me stuck doing this. God and Moses spoke face to face. We got a call. We can't turn it off. I'm like a little bobblehead. God and Moses spoke face to face. I've been David, little bobblehead, a little. What were they when they called those back in the day? The little geometrics. When we had Kurt Cobain blew his head off because God wasn't in his book happening in the '60s. You kept James Escher for how long? And why'd you do that? That is kind of funny with the unicorn. Yeah, way to go! It's a fun book. So let me grab the too heavy for you. Oh no, they were called too. So let's see what I went the unicorn. Okay, Kurt Cobain, I'm sorry. But if thou should say what we eat in the 7th year, okay, what will we eat when we get rid of this cult? Jehovah replied to Moses, gather for me men from the elders of Israel, get to work. Men from the recognizes the elders of the officials of the people, get to work. Collapsing cult and take your Bible out of print and take him to the tent of meeting. So and lead him there. And on the third day, having learned how to get a brain cell, having been made from the 136 million year white cliffs of Dover bulls and rams, male and lambs, each year is old, and 770 is not hard. All of this when billions of years is so scary, and the grain offering and the billions of years being so scary, and the bulls of the billions of years being so scary, and the bulls of the billions of years being so scary, and the skulls, the elves really old now, and the fourth day, yeah, they're old. Bulls being so scary, bulls being so scary, the elves are 707 million years old now. The Alps are 707 million years old now, according to this. The Alps are 770 million years old, but you can turn it off with goat. As a sin offering, turn it off with the goat. At the sin offering, Jehovah Witnesses things from the regular burnt offerings because Kurt Cobain blew his head off with the Alps being 707 million years old. Do that. When the fifth day we did that, and the bulls and rams were setting up for my website. I'll probably eat one because there's a lamb. I really enjoy lamb. So I know that must be very courageous to observe and carry all that is written in the book of the law. Let's read that pretty fucking close because we're into Hadith. Hadith, Hadith, bouncing around, Joshua. Hadith, 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 Hadith. Now, you must be very courageous to observing. Okay, David, I have to teach this one to you how to even read your book out all that is written. Hadith, 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 Hadith. Book of the Hadith, Hadith, Hadith. Allah, Moses. Did he see God? By never deviating it from the right or to the left. I wonder if he saw God face to face and knows if he's a pimple or not. By never mingling. Does God have a nose hair or not? With Moses, tell us what color is God's skin? Thou must even mention the names of their gods. But thanks, his name's Jehovah. And swear to them. And swear to them, and so now you have to pray to my dog for having this book and print too long. Now you must be very courageous to observe and carry out, understanding why you have to pray to my dog for having this book and been too long. Good Jehovah's Witnesses, that all that is written in the book of the law of Moses, by never departing it from the left, to the right or the left. Why not? Many days after Jehovah had given Israel rest from its surrounding enemies with the 6,000 year we can't get off what happened. The Alps were 770 million years, so we said, let us by all means take the action of building an altar. So go to my website. We're building currently the altar for 9,200 possible. It's pretty disappointing. The science can't even do it themselves. Lead science into geologic record of reality, and geologic record of reality has got to close. Turn off the internet because you have it. 1986, you then got C++. Sorry about that, kids. 1986, we got C++ and from BASIC. So let's go back to that era, dumps. Dad, I learned BASIC, and when you gave me a X286, I learned BASIC. So I also learned the 500,000 year code of Mount Rainier. Do you not understand how basic this is? Let me show you how basic this is. This is God of Moses spoke face to face. I went back in the book. And the fourth lot came out of Issachar for the children according to the families in the border torches. I went back in the book, get that picture out of it. And Moses said, it is not meet so to do, for we shall sacrifice the abomination of the Egyptians to the Lord our God. That's so now I'm taking God out of the Bible and making sense out of it for you. The sacrifice, the abomination of the Egyptians, idiots, you're 6,000 years moron, before their eyes, and they will not stone us. So I'm going to pull you off the internet and castrate the Pope in the process. We will go 3 days journey, and you got a week to get off unto the wilderness where you're at. The sacrifice of the Lord your God, which is Nowhereville, which is you have nothing in you. From having followed legend right here, God and Moses spoke face to face with his friends. Neither did Asher drive out. God and Moses spoke face to face as friends, and the anger of the Lord was hot. God and Moses spoke face to face as friends. And when the children of Israel went out, God and Moses spoke face to face as friends. Then and David covered all that the Ishmaelites, which is your Hittite culture. God and Moses spoke face to face as friends. And in the 30th, so they have 798 BC, this happened. Thou shalt indeed smitten Eden. So that probably happened. And God and Moses spoke face to face with his friends. Then wrote Ram, the chancellor, writing their ending for the cult, the rest of their companions. So God and Moses spoke face to face with his friends. They sent a letter unto him. God and Moses spoke face to face with his friends. So go over there and send them a letter and say you grew up. And unto the past, you only have a week. When our enemies heard it, you only have a week. Cult on the internet. I'm conducting it. There's 7.7 billion of you that are bleeding now. And it came to pass when there are 7.7 billion years, they know how to read a book, and God arise and his enemies were scattered, and he still know how to read a book. Bless the Lord, O my soul. Jehovah was in his name in 1891. God and Moses spoke face to face. His friends read the night like it. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth from it. So Jehovah was in his name, and God and Moses spoke face to face with his friends, whether or not you like it. But the simple will pass and be punished. Jehovah was his name, and God and Moses spoke face to face as friends, whether or not you like it. Read it again. He that blesseth his friend with a loud voice. You rising early in the morning, chanting Hare Krishna, and taking it to Auschwitz. Now these are the names of the tribes from the north, so we're in Auschwitz now. So they got this at right over. Oh, that would be Norway. Oh yeah, Norway. There's an old chunk of rock over there. There was a right there by the Norwegian inlet. Something with the letter D that miscribed for the letter hey. And about when they first got writing, they got this word wrong. So this was 4000 BC. It was incorrect, and he entered into the silent years in the border of Manasseh in the silent years now, and therefore the tares are gathered in the red letter of silent years. And but he knew their thoughts and said to a man which he with the withered head, 6,000, rise up and stand forth in the midst. Which verse in the Bible did you get wrong? 6,000. And Jesus cried with a loud voice and gave up his ghost. And which verse of the Bible did you get wrong reading? 6,000. He answered and said unto them, well, both Isaiah prophesied of you hypocrites. So which one verse in the Bible did you get wrong at 6,000? As it is written, this people honoreth me with their lips, but they get the Bible at 6,000. Their heart is far from me. So which verse in the Bible did you get wrong reading it at 6,000? There was in the days of Herod, which verse in the Bible did you get wrong reading it at 6,000? But he knew their thoughts, which word in the Bible did you get wrong at 6,000? And he had a sister called Mary, so which legend in the Bible did you get wrong at 6,000? Oh, there's a picture of him on the cross. Which legend in the Bible did you get wrong at 6,000? Now we know that God heareth not our sinners, but if man be a worshiper of God and doeth his will, him he heareth. So which word, why aren't you reading this? The ascension. God and Moses spoke face to face in 1891. His name was Jehovah, and you wrote it down. The ascension of that was a promise. It is an example to know he will return to us someday and get the name of God back into the Bible, because this red letter legend of this guy, he's not for real. He's not coming back. There's no that you drew a picture of it. You're not going to get anything out of that. You don't be stupid. We know that it will. We know that we will ascend with Jesus when he comes back. See, that's a double-edged sword. You're not going to get anything. You're going to go into the dirt and go with the worms. And he said with the worm in the ground, 500,000 years from now, nothing's going to happen. Is a candle brought to be under the bushel? This is because 500,000 years ago nothing didn't happen. And under a bed at 500,000 years ago, you missed Neanderthal who were there, and not to be set on a candlestick. Even Neanderthal, 500,000, 9,200-year fossil. Is it for real now? So you get nothing. Or what shall a man be exchanged in his soul? Well, I'll explain to you. The 500,000-year fossil is for real now. There is in the days of Herod there being a 500,000-year fossil that is for real now. I will say unto you, my friends, there being 500,000 fossil, you already knew about it. Use it. If the Son therefore shall make you free, you shall be free indeed. Bye. Off the internet in a week. Now we know that God here beareth not sinners. They would keep the Bible and print it 6,000. That's stupid. Get off the internet, cult. You got a week. It goes like that. You're done. You're all I know. Get off the internet, cult in a week. I'm done with you. You owe me millions.